What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at overpopulation and possible solutions to it. As I'm sure you are well aware, overpopulation is sort of one of the big issues at the moment as far as contributing to global warming and the very rapid use of the planet's resources. And so it's something that kind of really needs to be addressed. So we're going to look at that. Now this video is about over a fortnight late, but World Population Day is celebrated every year on July 11th. This is when this video was supposed to come out. And there is actually an annual event which seeks to raise awareness of global population issues. It was established by the Governing Council of the United Nations Development Program in 1989. Was inspired by public interest in 5 Billion Day on July 11, 1987, the approximate date on which the world's population reached 5 billion people. World Population Day aims to increase people's awareness on various population issues such as the importance of family planning, gender equality, poverty, maternal health, and human rights. So really, World Population Day just sort of looks at all of the major social issues. It's sort of the day, which is kind of crazy. What's going on here? Here we go. Alright. So, we've got an article here that is 5 possible solutions to overpopulation. Before we do that, as we saw in we reached 5 billion people in 1987. World population currently sits at over hang on. We've got an actual thing here. Alright, obviously by the time you watch this it's going to be a little bit higher than this, but there, as I'm filming, you can see the population going up. Now wherever it flickers, obviously is where the population sort of decreases for a second because of mortality, and then it's obviously increasing a lot faster, but nearly 7.9 billion people on the planet. Yeah, that's crazy. So just today, 380,000 plus births, 159 plus deaths, and the total population growth being the maths between the two. That's insane. So that's the population we're dealing with, considering that 87 is what, 34 years ago, and we've increased by nearly 3 billion people, so we've definitely added an extra 50% easily, 50+% to our population in 30 odd years. It really shows you just how stupid Thanos' plan was in the Avengers. But there are solutions. So we've got 5 possible solutions. Our first one, empower women. So it says here, studies show that women with access to reproductive health services find it easier to break out of poverty, while those who work are more likely to use birth control. United Nations Population Fund aims to tackle both issues at once, running microcredit projects to turn young women into advocates for reproductive health. Now, I don't want to nitpick these too much, but there is obviously a glaring issue there with, while empowering women, you still also have to educate young boys so that they don't become young men who won't take no for an answer, or develop sort of predatory behaviours when it comes to sex and relationships. Number 2, promote family planning. Simply educating men and women about contraception can have a big impact. When Iran introduced a national family planning program in 1989, its fertility rate fell from 5.6 births per woman to 2.6 in a decade. A similar effort in Rwanda saw a 3-fold increase in contraception usage in just 5 years. People will jump on it. Now, why is this getting in my way? Thank you. Number 3, make education entertaining. So a US-based population media center, the US-based population media center gets creative to reach women. Its radio soap operas, which feature culturally specific stories about reproductive issues, have been heard by as many as 500 million people in 50 countries. In Ethiopia, 63% of women seeking reproductive health services reported tuning in. The 4th one is purely and simply government incentives. Those at UK charity Population Matters believe there should be a senior government official responsible for addressing population-related issues. They urge governments to promote responsible parenthood, quote unquote, and say subsidies should be limited to the first 2 children unless the family is living in poverty. And then number 5, which I don't entirely agree with, and I'll get onto why when I finish reading it, but the one-child policy, one-child legislation. During China's high controversial one-child policy, fertility fell from 6 births per woman in the 1960s to 1.5 in 2014. However, Amnesty International reports that the policy led to coerced or forced abortions and sterilizations. It also disrupted traditional support structures for the elderly and led to a gender imbalance. Now, I know that this isn't going to help population growth, but it's also not going to help a decrease in the population. But I don't fully agree with the one-child legislation. A 2-child legislation, perhaps, because obviously you've got a greater chance there of having one child of each biological gender, and we will specify biological gender here, so that, biologically speaking, you're kind of simply just replacing yourselves, sort of a thing, if that makes any sense. Like, there's yourself and your partner, or the donor, or whatever. And so you have parts of 2 different strands of DNA coming from your parents. And so your child, so having 2 children sort of makes a 1-for-1 replacement of, if that makes any sense. If that makes any sense. I only plan on having 2 children myself, if and when I have children. But yeah, it won't be more than that because I don't want to be contributing to population growth. And unfortunately, like it said, there's government incentives to have kids, but there's not government incentives to stop at a certain number, and there really should be. I really do agree with that government incentive one. And then yeah, after that it just comes down to really drilling in the education on the subject. I mean, population issues should be things taught in like, what's the full acronym mean? So PDHPE is what? It's personal development, health, physical education. Surely somewhere in that, world population should come in, or maybe it should be part of the syllabus for geography to learn about the world population and population-based issues, or like it should be taught in schools. Kids should know this. It should be sort of mandatory knowledge for people so that they can, you can sort of get them when they're young, sort of thing. So you can, yeah, I don't know, just my 2 cents anyway. And again, I look fucking crazy. I just had a shower and now my hair just doesn't know what it wants to do. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on the subject. We are rapidly climbing towards 8 million. That's crazy. Oh, sorry, 8 billion rather. But yeah, I will, in the description as well, not only link the article that I read, and the website where you can go to check the current world population number, but I will also leave a link to the UN's page for World Population Day, so that you can have a look, see what sorts of programs and resources and stuff they've got in there. So that'll all be in the comment section, in the description down below. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell as well, so you can be notified when I upload new videos. If you liked this one, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, keep your heads screwed on.